They were two kids from opposite worlds. She was a California hippie chick with an artful eye, dancer's legs, and an appetite for ice cream that would make Ben and Jerry scream uncle. He was born in the land of the giant arch, wielded a crayon like an 8-year-old Picasso on a sugar binge, and helped define the modern St. Louis rock scene. This is the tale of two star-crossed lovers who fled the den of hedonism known as Webster University, drove madly across the country until they reached the Pacific, and found true love in the land of earthquakes, plastic surgery, Jerry Lewis, and just about everything that's fake and bad for you. This is the story of how Joy Keith and Steve Meyer avoided the trappings of Tinseltown and found themselves today, hand in hand, at the wedding altar. This is the Joy and Steve True Hollywood Story. In the mid-1970s, a tremor rocked the Southern California beach town of San Diego. It was the birth of Angela Joy Keith. This toddler was truly a bundle of joy for her mother Chris, father David, stepmom Michelle, and the rest of the Keith clan. Except, of course, for her older brother Adam, who would one day, during a visit to the famed San Diego Zoo, attempt to feed his kid sister to a parrot. Joy's childhood was idyllic. Her youth was peppered with frequent visits to the beach. Holidays and birthdays were spent with her loving family. Joy donned pigtails and developed a fondness for ice cream. By age 3, adorable little Joy had discovered art. But there was a dark side to Joy Keith that few were aware of. One grueling week, she became convinced she was a bumblebee. Joy flew wildly around the house and had to be captured with a net. As if that wasn't enough, Daddy's little sweetie also lived a secret life as a superhero, Pillow Girl, as seen in this rare home movie.
Pillow Girl, help me, please. I'm Pillow Girl here to save the day! What are you doing here? You're nothing but a miniature toy from a McDonald's cardboard box! You're plastic!
A 1,000 miles away, the small fishing village of St. Louis received an early Halloween surprise. In October 1976, James and Janine Meyer welcomed their third child, Stephen, into the world. It was a total shock because Janine didn't even know she was pregnant. Steve's childhood was pleasant and joyful. With brother Dave and sister Sandy, Steve enjoyed a typical Midwestern upbringing. Summers swimming in the river, and then lots and lots and lots of animals. Although Steve's destiny as a tractor driver seemed almost certain, drawing cartoons really grabbed his interest. At age 11, Steve met Kevin Dewey, a young man who shared a fevered interest in comic books. Together, these two boy geniuses would write and sketch a series of adventures around their alter egos, Mugly and Glue. Across the country, Joy started on the path to be her own Renaissance woman. While still nurturing an interest in drawing, she also discovered photography. But the one thing Joy did most was dance. She danced like there was no tomorrow. Ballet, jazz, modern. This girl was crazy for dancing and taking pictures. On the cusp of his teenage years, Steve's artistic pursuits took him down a more colorful and hairier path. The 12-year-old began a relationship with the piano. Steve revealed to his closest circle of friends a deep desire to be the next Elton John. Steve's friends quickly talked him out of that. And the young musician formed 3 bands and single-handedly forged the St. Louis sound of the 1980s. It was 1994. Both Joy and Steve enrolled at Webster University, an institution of higher learning with a reputation for hooking up California hotties with Midwestern studs. Although Steve and Joy knew each other casually for a few semesters, it wasn't until their junior year that Steve popped the question all young co-eds yearned to be asked. Hey, want to order a pizza and watch Children of the Corn 2 on video? The magic worked. Steve and Joy had their lawyers draw up an agreement for one summer romance. Just the summer, not a day longer than that. Little did they suspect, the fine print allowed for something much more serious. A road trip. During the many days of wandering the country and Steve's poor excuse for a car, the 2 lovebirds discovered that 3 months wasn't long enough to contain their wild, uncontrollable passion. Upon graduation, Joy and Steve packed up their belongings and made one final pilgrimage west to San Diego. After arriving and renting an apartment, the lovers confessed a mutual obsession with rabbits. Rabbits. Rabbits? Steve's obsession with animals would finally pay off.
I'd like to share a bunny, as that's our newest addition to our household.
Yeah, they seem like a pretty classy couple. But, I'm hearing that, once they get married, they're gonna stop breeding like rabbits. And, I ain't seen no evidence of that yet.
As the couple embarked on their careers, Steve landed his first great opportunity in the entertainment capital of the world, Hollywood. A sun-soaked paradise filled with movie factories, famous celebrities, earthquakes, plastic surgery, and endless miles of congested freeways. For 10 grueling months, while Joy kept the home fires burning, Steve toiled away in an animation sweatshop in the San Fernando Valley. As Steve's first animation job neared completion, he experienced a moment of clarity, soon discovering what he really had to do with his life: get married to Joy. With the help of his buddy Brooks, the St. Louis rock legend composed a love song for his soulmate. When Steve finally popped the question and asked Joy to marry him, she cried and said yes. On June 19th, 2004, these 2 lovebirds tied the knot, becoming known as Mr. and Mrs. Stephen and Joy Meyer. Coming up, the newlyweds consider turning their parents into grandparents. And Steve discovers the joy of changing diapers.